Now, that's obviously enough to crush some people mentally and emotionally at that point. But soldiers don't have time. And they have to do their jobs. I mean, as you went through that emotion, and then you turn around and you go, okay, what's next?
Yep.
How's that work?
That's what you do. If I had spent more than that 1 second saying, sorry, bro, what am I missing? I couldn't get my snipers into a position to be useful being snipers. So we were being useful in other ways. And once that problem was dealt with, because you could see the guy, we were trying to reorganize ourselves here. We were in the reorg phase.
Right.
The guys are going the long way around of the vehicle because they were lined up next to the vehicle. And so me and a couple of guys were like, okay, we got to fix this. We fixed it. And people, you felt people relax. And then my main concern was that's still our objective and we got to get to it. So what's next? And that's when I went looking for, I'm not even sure who's in charge at this point because we had taken so much of our leadership had been hurt. The company sergeant major, 2 of the warrants, and we had, when that Zettelmeyer got hit, it wounded a bunch of guys. And, we had Afghans with us. We had some Americans with us. What do you call the National Guard? I think there were National Guard mentors for the Afghans were with us.
Yep.
And my biggest disappointment from that day, and I know I might catch some shit from some guys that were there, we didn't take our objective. To this day, 2016, this is 10 years later, almost. In September, it'll be 10 years. And to this day, I'm like, fuck, we didn't take our objective.
Yeah. And part of that, and for one thing, when I was reading that obviously it's just emotional moment, and I knew that you just had to detach from the emotion. I use that term all the time.
Yeah.
You got to just detach from it. And you got to be conscious of that. So folks that are listening, that are thinking, how do you do that? That's how you do it. When you feel the emotion starting to override your logic and your ability to do your duty, that's what you have to do. You have to go, okay, I got to detach from those emotions and I got to do my job now.
Yeah. In that moment, I actually don't remember, I didn't really have any feelings.
Yeah.
I get more feeling now out of it listening to you read it.
Yep.
Because starting with, especially when TJ got hurt, that's our workspace.
Yep.
Here we're in an office, people typing, doors opening, closing. That's the normal sound and vibe of this workspace. We had burning vehicles. We had dead soldiers. We had wounded soldiers. We had about 15 wounded by this point. We had air support raining in. We had artillery support raining in. We had enemy mortars coming down. And, that's the norm. That they don't, when you sign up to be a Navy SEAL, they don't hide the fact that you might get in gunfights. It's the first thing you read. It's in big, bold, black letters. You could get killed. It's not in the small print at the bottom of the contract, clause B of section 4. It's right there. That's what you signed up for. So it's not abnormal for these things to be happening. What you have to do is accept that they happened and carry on with the job. And in that moment, I remember I said sorry, bro, because I was actually probably felt more like, hey man, sorry you're out of the game. Because it's going to get exciting from here. A fallen soldier in combat to me is, especially a volunteer. We weren't drafted. Did anyone make you join the Navy?
No.
No. I I fought with my parents to get into the Army.
Yep.
I would have fought 10 of my best friends to get that job as that sniper team leader. And there was nowhere else I wanted to be. And a soldier falling in combat doing the job he chose in a it's not of our choosing. Don't ever feel sorry for me because I went to Afghanistan. Believe me, I wanted to be there. And to fall, I get a lot of shit by some people, but it's one of the greatest things a soldier can do is to fall with his friends doing the job that he chose or she chose. And I get in shit sometimes because I think like this.
Well, I think the reason that is because it's so hard for people that don't know what that brotherhood is like. Yeah. They don't know what it's like to want to do that. They don't understand that's the soldier in the child. That's the way you've wanted to be your whole life. That's the way I wanted to be my whole life. So for these things to happen is it's like feeling bad for an MMA fighter because they got punched in the face. You signed up for it. You signed up for it, and those guys, they're there to fight. And in the military, you're there to fight.
Yeah.
And a byproduct of fighting in this situation can be injury. It can be death. And like you said, it's what we all signed up for.